Hi ladies and gentlemen, this time we're looking at the brand new release from NuNu, a Porsche 911 SCRS, a rally car from Porsche. We start with a very nice illustration of the car on the cover of the box, and one side of it featured the build-up model, and at the end featured the same illustration and the name of the car, and the kit number is PN24011. And on the other side has a recommended list of paint from Gunze and a short description of the car. And at this end is the same as the other end. Now let's have a look inside. First of all, we have obviously the car body, and then a clear sprue, and then a bag of white sprues, and some wheels, tires, chrome parts, and two last sprue of black parts. And then we have obviously the decal and the instruction. And firstly, let's look at the instruction. The cover features the illustration and a short description of the car, and then some tips for assembling. And then we have a list of recommended paints from Gunze, and then a short description on how to apply decals, some symbols, and then start with step 1 is the assembly of the front suspension, including the coloring of the front discs. And then step 2 is the assembly of the rear suspension and also the gearbox. Step 3 is the assembly of the exhaust system. Step 4 is the installation of the rear suspension and exhaust system onto the chassis. Step 5 is the completion of the chassis with various detailing parts. Step 6, we start to build the cockpit area. Step 7 is the assembly of the dashboard, while Step 8 is the building of the roll cage. Step 9 is the completion of the cockpit area with the door panels. Step 10 is the installation of the driver's compartment onto the chassis. Step 11 is the building of the wheels. Step 12 is the installation of the wheels. And then step 13 is drilling of some holes. And then installation of front and rear bumpers. Step 14 is installation of the windows and some of the small detailing up parts such as the hood pins. And then step 15 is the building of the rear wing and also the tail light. Step 16 is finishing the body with all the details. Step 17 is the body assembly. Step 18 is the assembly of the underguards, and then the whole building process is complete. Follows by placements of decals. And then finally, we have a list of all the sprues and content of the kits. The instruction is clear. I think it's very easy to follow. Now let's look at all the parts in more detail. First, of course, we have the main body. The shape looks really nice, and I think it's quite accurate. The mold parting line can only be seen on both of the front fenders. Otherwise, it's virtually invisible. I must say the parting line has been strategically located so that there isn't much sanding needs to be done. And then the surface of the body is relatively smooth and no sing mark or anything. Flash is minimal. And then let's look at the other sprues. These are the front and the rear bumpers, and there's slight flesh on these two parts, but nothing major. Simple trimming and sanding can clean those flesh away. And then we have the molding of the tail wing or the rear wing. Again, the molding is quite clean and sharp. No sing mark or anything. There's a bit of flesh on small parts such as the rear view mirror and also the ring on the headlights. The handles are nicely done. And other small parts are quite nice and crisp. And when we come to the wheels, typical 911 type of wheel hubs with nice hexagon fastening nuts. The wheel inserts is a bit thick, but that's the limitation of injection molding. Otherwise, the wheels are quite nice and quite okay. Then we come to the large sprue of black parts. And let's look at the bottom tray or the chassis. Again, molding is nice and smooth and crisp. The bottom part of the engine looks nice. And the dashboard is quite nice. The door panel is nicely detailed. And the driver's compartment has all the details and all the rippings. Unfortunately, there are 4 injection marks or 8 injection marks can be seen quite clearly. I don't know whether the driver's seats is going to cover them. And then we have other detail parts such as the front suspensions, the exhaust system, and also the rear of the engines and radiators. The second black sprue contains mainly the roll cage and other detailing parts such as the shock absorbers, the fire extinguishers, and some exhaust pipes, the brakes and the brake discs, and the hood pin fasteners. We can see the injection marks are all located on the other side of the parts, which cleaning them is quite easy. You probably won't see it from the outside. Then on the small sprue, there is the rear suspension with the gearbox and also the shock absorbers. Again, molding is quite nice. When we come to the clear parts, the molding on the clear parts again is very smooth and very crisp. The parts are quite clear and transparency is quite flawless. And we can see the windshield is very smooth and gloss. And the windows is also very nice and clear. Now all the distortion, I think mainly due to the refraction because of the distance of the parts from the blue cutting mat. And if I put the parts closer to the cutting mat, and you can see that distortion is relatively little. Then we come to the chrome parts. The chrome parts are nicely chrome, and then the molding is very nice, little flash. And the tail light housing is also very clean and very sharp. And then the tires are, again, according to NuNu, molded with real rubber, similar to the real tire you have in your cars. And the molding is very clean. There's no flash, and the molding seam is inside the tires. And then we come to the decal or decal. Now the decal printing is very sharp. Registration is very good, and the white seems very solid. Of course, looking at the white decal against a light blue background, you cannot tell the solidity of the printing ink, but the details are very sharp and very nice. The experience tell me the decal is going to be very good. There you have it. That's what inside the box of Porsche 911 from NuNu. But of course, we still have something else to look at. the detailing up parts for the kit. Now let's take a closer look. Well, the set contains firstly the ribbon for the safety belts, some small machine parts, 2 photo etch parts, and then 2 small decals. And then the instructions. Well, the instruction starts with a small introduction to how to assemble the parts. 2 paint color are needed. And then we start with adding of the photo etch part onto the brake discs on step 1 and step 5. And then on step 6, we have decal on the back of the driver's seats. And then the assembly of the safety belts. And then step 6, we add the stripes onto the fire extinguisher. And then how to fasten the seat belt onto the driver's compartment. And then in step 14 is adding of the hood pins. 15 is the assembly of the rear hood pins and the antenna. 16 is the building of the windshield wipers. And then 18 is the replacement of the protection plates on the bottom of the chassis. And then on step 19 is adding the metal ring on the tailpipe. And also the mud guards. And also the windshield retainers. And then we have instruction of replacing some of the decal on the car, mainly some naughty decals. So that's the instruction for the detailing up sets. And here first fret of photo etch parts. Well, photo etch parts are photo etch parts are photo etch parts. They probably look the same these days. The bell buckles, that's the fasteners for the safety belts, the front mud flap guards, and then the other sheet of photo etch parts contain mainly of the protection plates underneath the chassis. Nice replacement for the plastic parts. And then we have the naughty decal. Again, the printing is sharp and very clean. The white looks solid. Again, you never know until you use it. But all in all, it's a nice replacement decal for the model. And then the carbon fiber decal for the back of the racing seats. These are the yellowish golden ones. And then finally, we have the small machine parts, one for the antenna and the other one for the cut-off switch of the electronics. Now there you have it, the Porsche 911 rally car and also the detail up part sets from NuNu. The kit is nice and simple with the right amount of detail, and with the detail up part sets add a little finesse to the final built model. Both the kit and the detail sets are available from Hobby Easy, and I think many people are waiting for this kit for a long time, and I'm sure you want to order it fast. Well, once again, thank you for watching. Until next time, bye bye.